Yeah, one of the gifts of life that keeps on giving, it's like new beginnings. Yeah, in fact, the promise that was promised to us is like in the last days, chosen ones shall renew their strength, just like the eagles. You know what I'm saying? What does this mean? Especially when you're on the elevation. Yeah, it's like God has given you a new chapter to write your own story. I said, dang, let me sit back right here. Yeah, what does this mean to me? It means I must run my life just like a corporation. Yeah, with its own rules, very own rules, and conditions and laws. Now, every new level you come to, you need to deploy a new tactic. Now, one of the things you would say is that association. Association becomes an important thing, one of the most important things. In this video, I want to talk about how to vet associates at the gate. Hello, beautiful people. Oh shit, I forgot my new intro. I should have said, people of the world, welcome to Awaken the Ego. My name is Alula. Today I want to talk about how to vet associates at the gate, how to vet associates at the door. Yeah. Now, when you were 2 years old, you can play around with whoever's around, you know what I'm saying? But guys, as you grow, especially spiritually, association becomes an important thing. In fact, it becomes so important if you're not careful in this area of your life, guys. Some of these things, actually, when I step back and think about all the problems I've faced in my life, most of those problems was because of my association, especially in my teenage years. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is a case of riding around with a criminal. Now, if the police was looking for that person and they just happened to pull you over, guess what? Both of you are going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Now, spiritually, guys, these things, this principle also applies, especially when it comes to frequency exchange. One of the rules or laws of power by this guy, Robert Greene, is to only associate yourself with the happy. You know what I'm saying? Not with the miserable, not with people who live in a low frequency. Why? Because, guys, energy is so contagious. In fact, emotions that is transferred to you, especially sexually, becomes like a hole in a vessel, like in a boat that is able to sink the boat. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're not strong enough in this sector to set down these laws and rules in your life, guys, some people will ruin your new reality, will ruin your life just by you associating with them. You know what I'm saying? If they carry a lot of anxiety and you keep hanging around with these people, guess what? This anxiety will transfer on you at some point if you continuously hang around with broke people. Yeah, no. Guess what? At some point, you're gonna find yourself without any money. As the saying goes, if you hang around the barbershop, at some point, you're gonna get yourself a haircut. Now, just because you have spiritually elevated yourself, it does not mean you should live your life solo. You know what I'm saying? It means that you got to be so careful. You got to be able to make, guys, the right judgment. You got to vet people at the door, at the gate, before they're able to inflict any damage on you. You know what I mean? Now, how do you vet people at the gate, especially when it comes to associations? Now, when it comes to friendship, yeah, especially if a man has got his own purpose, his purpose, guys, becomes his friend. Therefore, he might not have a lot of friends, but he will have a lot of associates. Now, these associates are useful if you know how to use them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, which kind of associate should you associate yourself with? The first one, guys, is somebody that is committed to your advancement in every way, as you're committed to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Now, if that kind of mindset, if that kind of like frequency is not there, guess what? There's nothing to talk about here. That association, guys, should not take place. In fact, one of the things you're gonna see, you know what I mean, especially as you become successful in your own way, is like a lot of people were never your friends. They never had a good intention for you in the first place. They're not committed to your advancement. In fact, they're secretly hoping that you will fail, you will never rise, or you will never get to do the things that you set out to do, especially the people around you. Now, when I circle back and I looked at everybody that was around me, you know, just by observing the situation, I had to cut 99% of them off Now, how is that even possible? Now, the way I understood it is like those people came into my life based on the frequency that I was at that stage. Now that I've grown, they got to go, and new people began to come into my life. All right, let's get down to the second point. Whom should you associate yourself with? You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a famous story religiously that said, oh man, your family's out there waiting on you. And he turned around and said, who is my family? My family are the people who walk in the same path as me. Now, what does this mean? Guys, in other words, this means my brothers and sisters are the people who operate on the same frequency as me. Now, I've talked about frequency, guys, many times. You know what I mean? I've talked about frequency and vibration many times on Awaken the Ego. Now, you can wish to be something. You can even like have rituals, you know, all these things. But if the frequency and the vibration does not match the thing, there's nothing to talk about here. That relationship, that success, whatever that came with that vibration, will not last. Therefore, do yourself a favor and seek the people that are vibrating on your level. Now, one of the challenges of the chosen ones or people who are on the elevation is like, when you meet people, in the beginning, people might be all right with you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they talk a big talk, but they ain't about that life. Now, when they meet you, they might even show you that they're on your level. Now, as the time goes on, you begin to see their true frequency. Because frequency cannot be outran, faked, or outmaneuvered. You know what I'm saying? And then you begin to see the real colors, and then the association just drops off. That's why many chosen ones get frustrated with this, because you're looking for the right thing in the wrong place. The only thing to do, guys, is to pay attention to vibration, energy, frequency. Yeah. Now, what is the third way of vetting people at the gate? This one, guys, is a routine. Yeah. Now, the best predictor of success, actually, let me say it like this. The best way to create success is, no, I just said it right there. What the hell? I should have said, the only way to predict success is to create it. Now, to create this success requires for you to draw yourself a routine. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, for the last many years, you know what I mean? I've had my routine in the morning. There are things that I do that bring so much peace to myself and also strengthen my frequency. Yeah. Now, this routine of mine cannot be negotiated. And also another routine is like, once I go for my walk in the morning, it's like I go out, buy new groceries and cook for the day for my health. You see what I'm saying? Since that's my routine, it's so embedded into me. Now, that is part of who I am now. I've done it so many times. It is so automatic that I do it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you want to know what somebody is about, you got to look at what they do each and every day. Why? Because that cannot be faked. If somebody says, hey man, I go home every night and have a couple of beers, he just told you he's fucking alcoholic.